Sujata Krishnan is a high school dropout, a young widow and a single mother living in the city of Thiruvananthapuram. She lives to see her daughter Athira's academic success, taking up more and more trivial jobs at apartments and factories to support her schooling and the planned expensive private coaching for SSLC, that is 10th exam. Sujata works hard every day to support her daughter. She does many small jobs to earn enough money. She doesn't think about herself at all. Her daughter, though, is far from grateful. She is unmotivated, never studies properly, gets low marks in her school exams, and won't quit believing that she can't be anything more than a petty, domestic help like her mother. Still, every morning before the sun rises, Sujata packs their breakfast in steel tiffin boxes and leaves quietly for her cleaning job, whispering a prayer that today might be the day Athira finds some interest in her books. Every morning, Sujata leaves home very early. She packs food and goes to work. She just hopes Athira will start studying. Despite the constant grind, she clings to hope like a flame in a storm. On Sundays, she walks several kilometers to inquire about school scholarships and coaching centers, often returning empty-handed but with renewed resolve. Even in her exhaustion, she imagines a better life for Athira, far removed from the buckets and mops that have defined her own. Sujata narrates her dilemma to her rich employer George Paul. A kind and open-hearted man, he tells Sujata about an uncanny solution to her daughter's poor academic performance. Under the new plan, Sujata will enroll in her daughter's school so that she can learn math and tutor Athira herself. Sujata feels unsure at first. She thinks she is too old to be a student again. But she agrees because she wants to help her daughter. This embarrasses Athira. Sujata slowly starts impressing her classmates and scores pretty much well in maths exams. No one, except for the school's kind principal, is aware of Sujata's relationship to Athira. With trembling hands, Sujata fills out her school application form, her name looking strange on a student register after so many years. In class, she answers questions shyly at first, but soon becomes a quiet inspiration to others. She studies late into the night, often with chalk-stained fingers and a smile on her face. Her classmates admire her determination, unaware of the deeper reason behind her motivation. Sujata writes down her lessons and studies every night. She checks Athira's marks and keeps trying to improve. She wants to do well so that Athira will try harder too. Athira begs Sujata to stop attending the school. She is angered by Sujata's success in math, as she herself continues to fail to understand it. Both of them start a rivalry where if Athira scores more marks than Sujata, then she should leave school. Athira, seeing no other solution but to score better than Sujata, starts studying well. She scores a personal record 58% marks in her next mathematics exam. Sujata is happy and leaves school. That evening, they eat together in silence for the first time in weeks. Though no words are exchanged, both mother and daughter feel a shift in their hearts. They do not speak during dinner, but there is no anger now. Both of them feel calmer. It feels like they understand each other more. Sujata lovingly folds away her uniform, grateful that her unusual method had worked, and Athira finally sees a glimpse of what effort can achieve. Sujata, being naive, decides to meet the district collector Deepa to plan her daughter's academic future. She somehow manages to get into collector's residence and tells the collector about her dream to see Athira as a district collector. The collector, much to the surprise of Sujata, tells her that she herself came from a very low-income family and couldn't afford to go to expensive private coaching classes for civil service exams. The collector listens patiently, touched by the clarity and intensity of Sujata's vision. As they speak, Sujata notices that even in such a grand house, there is humility in the woman before her. She leaves the residence not just with advice, but with renewed belief, proof that a strong will can indeed bend fate. The collector even shares a list of free resources and library contacts, encouraging Sujata to think big. The collector says she also came from a poor background. She studied with free books and help from teachers. She tells Sujata that success is still possible without money. The moment lights a fire in her that refuses to be extinguished. Sujata soon discovers that Athira only scored good marks in the last series of exams because she didn't want to attend classes with Sujata. Determined to change her, Sujata again starts attending the school. Sujata now starts taking more and more jobs, works late into the night in small restaurants, and saves more and more money for Athira and to pay out her family debts. She begins her day before dawn, working back-to-back shifts without a break. At the restaurant, she washes dishes until her fingers wrinkle, and at home, she counts every rupee before putting it into a tin box. She avoids buying anything for herself, even skipping meals to save money. Her only joy comes from watching Athira revise at the table, until the day everything collapses. One day, Sujata finds out that Athira has stolen her savings to buy expensive school bags, slippers and dress. Sujata gets humiliated by the Tulsi to whom she owes money. Athira suspects that Sujata is earning money by prostitution. Sujata feels very hurt by what Athira says. She has worked honestly every single day. She does not understand why her own daughter would say such a thing. The relation between the mother and daughter reaches an all-time low. For the first time, Sujata raises her voice, only briefly, but it carries the weight of years of silent suffering. She retreats into herself, wounded not just by the theft, but by her daughter's distrust. The walls of their home echo with regret and unspoken pain. Athira, meanwhile, begins to wonder if she has misunderstood everything. While going to work, Sujata meets with an accident and is severely wounded. In the hospital, Athira gets to know from her friend Rajiv that Sujata is not doing any prostitution but she is working day and night in a small restaurant in the city. Athira visits Sujata in the hospital and asks for forgiveness and vows to study hard from now on. As she watches her mother, unconscious and bandaged, guilt crashes into Athira like a wave. Rajiv describes how he had seen Sujata fall asleep standing at the sink after 12-hour shifts, never uttering a word of complaint. Athira listens carefully and begins to understand. She feels sorry for all the wrong things she said. She realizes her mother has done everything for her. It is then that Athira realizes the depth of her mother's sacrifices. Her apology in the hospital room is broken and tearful, but sincere. Sujata opens her eyes just long enough to squeeze her daughter's hand. After realizing her mistakes, Athira passes the SSLC exams with good marks, along with Sujata, and she eventually fulfills her mother's dream by becoming a district collector. After being asked what inspired her to apply for the administrative service, she answers that she is inspired by her mother, who now tutors economically backward students for free. Sujata turns her modest home into a learning space for underprivileged children, where she teaches math, moral stories, and hope. Word spreads, and soon the room is full of children eager to learn. Whenever asked how she did it, Athira simply points to her mother, now a teacher to many, and the reason behind everything she became.